Hello and welcome to Interactive Distractions. My name is Christopher Keel, and I am here with Travis Baum.
Oh, hey, it's me.
Jason A. Stryker.
Oh, hello.
And Jeff Torney.
What up, everyone?
And this is episode 457. We're going to do some distractions. We're going to talk about the state of play, the PlayStation event that happened yesterday. Today is Thursday for us. And then we've got some feedback from some people on Discord. So we're going to head over to that. But I think we're jumping right into the games. Anybody got anything that they want to get off their chest?
Tekken's really good.
What's that?
Tekken's really fucking good. Holy shit.
Really fucking good. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. How is it?
Why
is it good? Because Kazuya is fucking amazing. And so is Jin. And so is Brian and King and Lily. Oh, they're all really great.
So much of the roster.
King was always my guy. King was always my guy. I had fun with the slams.
So I played through the story mode, which is a little more concise and focused, kind of like in Mortal Kombat story mode. And they go over the top with it, just with the fucking explosions and fucking bulging pecs and lasers, and it's just amazing.
That's what I want out of my 3D fighting games.
They did a really, really good job on this. They went outside the box a little bit during some of the sequences. Like they've got it like a Tekken Force mode. Do you remember that like a 3D beat 'em up? That was in, I want to say Tekken 5.
I do.
I do. Yes, I do remember.
It was earlier than that. It actually, I think I feel like it came out in 3 originally. Yeah. I think the first Tekken Force mode was in 3.
But
maybe. Pretty sure.
They brought that back for a few stages. So you're playing as King and you're fucking power bombing, just fucking random dudes. It's pretty badass. So, I
almost pulled the trigger on it, man. Today, I almost did. I might do it.
It's great. It's cross-platform, so whatever fucking system you get it on, go for it. I would love to play with you because you know what? I don't want to play online because
I don't want to play online either.
I'm not in the headspace for it. I'm not.
Jason, is that era over for you, or is this a phase? Because you had this issue with like Street Fighter.
Yeah, I've narrowed it down to like it being just like that's where my mental health is right now, and it's
I agree.
Honestly, it's in the shitter, and like I don't want to think about like fucking bettering myself in the terms of a fighting game when I've got so much other shit to worry about right now.
Absolutely.
And so much shit happens online that can just change a mood like that. Even if you're winning, even if you're doing good, like someone's teabagging you in a match, someone sends you like it's a bunch of different things and just make you just be like, ugh.
I cannot deal with it right now. So maybe there will be a time when I get competitive again. Right now, I'm so eager to just beat up on the computer.
Circling back real quick, I'm guessing we're just in distractions right now.
Yep.
Circling
That's
back
a record.
To the to the story mode. Jason,
welcome to the show. Distractions.
Jason, there's one question that is on the people's minds right now, and I'm just going to read their thoughts right now. Okay.
Yep.
Does somebody in this story mode? Does somebody get thrown off a cliff?
Maybe
into a volcano.
It has to happen. It's a tradition for Tekken, right?
I don't know if a Tekken. Okay, I don't know if a Tekken game has come across our lucky eyes where someone wasn't thrown off a cliff.
Right.
I honestly haven't played a Tekken since 3, so it's been a while for me. But if there's a fighting game for me to get back into, that would be it.
Is it still pretty mash friendly for if you're playing in a single player? Okay, cool.
Even more
because I was never good at Tekken.
They've made it extremely like not necessarily mash friendly, but like it focuses on like an aggressive play style. I think they've got like a new heat meter where you can do like additional damage and have like additional properties added onto your moves when you go into this mode. So, and then you get that every round. So it's kind of like the rage art. Do you remember the comeback mechanic? Yeah,
from 7.
They still have that. Yeah. Plus this heat mode. So it's just like you can go balls out with it. It's like I've been playing as Brian, and I've just been fucking constant forward motion, and just like beating the shit out of the computer. It's been great. So
I might make a stop at the game store tomorrow.
I'm having to look up who Brian is. I don't remember Brian.
Fury. Oh my God.
Brian Fury,
man.
Fucking
gray
rips
hair.
the top off tanks and throws them at people. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude's badass.
Wait a minute. I think I do remember him now.
Jason used him in Street Fighter Cross Tekken for a while too.
Yep. He's been my Tekken mainstay since whenever he came out. I don't know if it was like 4 or 5, but yeah, Brian Fury's great. But no, I'm thoroughly enjoying the game. Like there's some really smart stuff going on as well as there's a new replay function. Well, there's a few, but the one in particular that I want to talk about is that you can download a replay, and when you see somebody fuck something up, like say Lars is doing like a 3-hit string, which is like high or something like that, the replay will stop and a bubble will pop up and say this attack can be ducked.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, interesting.
So they teach you by learning, or by like showing, I guess.
Like little opportunity tutorials.
Exactly. Like say if you're having...
like for any video that you happen to...
From what I've seen, yes.
record?
From what I've seen, yes.
That's really cool.
That's extremely cool. So I've only downloaded a few videos to be completely fair, but
you've seen them on all of them.
But I've seen them on all of them. So it's like I keep getting blown up by this one move. What the fuck do I do? And the game will actually tell me and say, "Hey,
that's awesome.
This is
what
you do."
Yeah,
that's really cool. Yeah,
so,
they're getting really good at that type of shit, man.
Yeah,
Street Fighter 6 had some really good tutorial stuff, and yeah.
You got to dig for it a little bit, like his like combo trials and shit like that is buried in like the training mode menus and stuff. Like you can't just like quickly access it. You got to dig a little bit, but the shit is in there. The sauce is. Oh
loose. Man, what happened to Paul? Wow.
His hair fell down.
His hair fell down.
Really?
Yeah, he's.
That's that Pantene Pro-E, son. That's that dandruff shampoo
he's
you put in there. It really
just as much, if not more, of a dope than he always has been. It's great. So good.
Paul
that hair is iconic.
Yep.
Let's see. Paul, King, Yoshimitsu. Those are some of the people that
Huang.
Nina.
I did play with Huang.
Bruce.
Who
Kuma,
else?
Panda. There's the Panda, and there's
Kazuya.
That game has had some batshit crazy characters, man. Like no other fighting game, no other major fighting game like really went out there with their characters as much as them.
So I will go out on a limb and say that I actually like of the 3 games that came out, I think I like Tekken the most. From a personal standpoint, because I like a majority of the characters. I love the things that they've added to it. It's super fun to play.
Like, are you talking about like between Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat? You're liking Tekken the most? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Just because like Street Fighter 6 didn't hit with me as like high as it probably should have. Like it's a great game. It's really fantastic, but I don't have a main for that game. Like I don't have anybody that I enjoy using.
No character spoke to you.
Yeah. And like Tekken, there's more than a few that I'm just like.
There's no Brian Fury in Street Fighter 6.
But if there was, then we'd be going. But
I'm assuming Mortal Kombat's 3 on that list.
Yeah,
I'm
Street Fighter Cross Tekken 2. Yeah, that's what we need.
I had a good week or two with Mortal Kombat where it was starting to click with me, and then it just completely fell off a cliff into a volcano, and just like I was done with it.
Games do that.
But I mean, between like the really shitty fucking monetization of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, Tekken doesn't have those microtransactions.
Dude,
like costumes.
It has how many characters at launch? Like
Tekken?
You have
Tekken? Like 30
Let's see. 6, 12, 18, 24.
And you don't have to pay for any of them.
30,
they're just
32.
there.
There's like 32 characters.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do have their season passes, where you get your Eddie Gordos or whatever, but they come with a really super robust like character creator or customization thing where you can like get different costumes on anybody, and you don't have to pay for it. You just use your in-game currency, which is attained through like beating arcade mode. You get like a 10 million fucking gold for that. You can buy everything. It's great.
Good job, Namco.
They don't fucking
Namco.
So they just like give it to you. So
nice.
That's extremely like consumer friendly. I appreciate it. and it makes me, like this a little bit more than the other two right now.
Yeah. Good to know.
Tekken's real good.
Gets me a little excited for it.
All right. What else you played, Jason? Anything else?
That's about it. I think I'm going to get that. Oh man, I felt so bad because when I was talking about this game before, my blood sugar was super low, and I just fucking talked like an idiot. But it was that Grand Blue Fantasy relink that I played the demo of, the JRPG, or action RPG. I played the demo again. It still fucking looks great. It plays really well. I might get that because it just came out.
It's getting decent reviews. I've seen.
I noticed that. Yeah.
So I might play that. But I've also got Infinite Wealth on my plate. And then Uni L2, Under Night, which has not been doing very well as far as the PC port is concerned. They've been having massive amounts of updates trying to fix that shit. But it seems just broken, and that's a real shame. So, where Tekken, came out broken like the first day, they fixed it all.
They're fine.
Unio has not been able to fix everything yet. So, but fingers crossed. But yeah, I've bought 4 games in January. Like I've got a lot on my plate right now.
2024, good start.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a backlog gonna grow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right. Who else has got something new? Anything?
Guys, can I talk about Persona? Can I talk about Persona 3 Reload for a second?
Yeah.
All right.
Is that the one where you shoot yourself?
Yeah, that is. I'm glad they left that in 2024. To be honest with you,
move, right?
I'm going to be honest with you.
I thought they might be censoring that.
I thought they would have too. I was.
It's getting flack. Not surprising.
Yeah, but they're not guns; they're evokers. Get with the lore.
Oh, jeez.
Someone tell these politicians to get with the lore, okay? Respect canon, Jesus, and we vote for you, Jesus.
We'll take the guns out of the games when you.
I'm not talking politicians.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Persona is one of my favorite RPG series of all time, and Persona 3, Fez specifically on the PS2 is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. So if you would have told me that a really, really well-made remake was going to come out of Persona 3, one of my favorite games of all time, and that I was just going to let it pass me by because I'm playing a Yakuza game, which is a series I historically do not like. And I, the buzz from the reviews of Infinite Wealth came out, and I was like, well, maybe I should jump into this. I didn't realize they made the jump to RPG, which is
cool. It's crazy.
I know this happened in 2020, but can we just celebrate the big cojones on the developers' ball? That's
for switching up the
their legs right
mode.
now.
I mean, they had 6 games, I think, under their
6 mainline titles. I think it's double-digit titles up to this point.
Wouldn't doubt
when
it.
you when you talk about the spinoffs and everything, at least when you add those into the mix. But I mean, this series has been going on for 25 years, something like that. 20
long time.
PS1 is when it originated.
And they were like, "Hey, I got an idea. That gameplay thing we do, nah." Yeah. We're done. And I think it worked, man. So I made the decision, and Jeff Jeff made the opposite decision. He jumped straight into Infinite Wealth. It sounds like Jason, you did too.
I beat Like a Dragon.
Oh, you beat Like a Dragon.
Yep,
Great. Well, I got to tell you, I need to make room definitely in my top 10. And as I let it stew, there's a possibility of my top 5 all-time favorite RPGs of all time. And I'm not joking.
It's fantastic.
This took me for quite a shocker. The first Yakuza game that I played was one of the Kazawa games. I think it was on PS3 or something.
Kiwami games or
Kiwami. Kiwami. I'm sorry. And I think I gave it 12 hours, 13 hours, and I just couldn't get into the loop. I wasn't the arcadey brawler combat just wasn't. There's something about that genre. It only works for me in 2D. versus 3D. Like 3D just doesn't work for me. I think I remember liking the bouncer a little bit, but when you look back, it's a horrible game.
Oh, that game's
bad. So like, yeah, in 3D, that's never really allured me in any way. But this game is great, man. I ironically beat it probably about 30 minutes before we jumped online today. I wanted to rush through and finish it, and it takes the things that I initially liked about the standard Yakuza gameplay. You have this really interesting town, great characters, great storylines. They can be very, very heavy on the exposition. I say throughout the entire game is super, super heavy on exposition, but like there's so much heart and joy and lessons. Like they put so much, they talk about M-rated games, and even people who complain about mature, violent games, like M-rated games, you think about blood, gore, maybe nudity, curse words and stuff like that. Like games like this, as goofy and as satirical as this game can be, honestly, this is one of the most mature games that talk about some of the most mature pieces of subject matter: prostitution, abandoning babies, drug use. Like there's just so many
people dressed up like babies. Yeah.
People dressed up like babies. Corruption in politics and police. There's just so much, like, and they're not afraid to shy away from it. And even for me, who's like, generally I'm super lived out socially, but like there were a couple of moments where I found myself cringing a little bit. Like there's a ton of cringe here, but it's made to be a satire. It's made to be kind of like a Japanese interactive soap opera. But everything about that game was pretty solid. I didn't find the grinding necessary that some people complained about too prevalent.
Yeah.
But early on in the game, I was doing everything. Like I was really taking some time and fighting every enemy and things like that. But for the most part, like I think I couldn't stop myself from doing side work in that game because
nice.
I was shocked again at how much I was interested in that. And it helped because they did a good job with the rewards too. Because if you want to get certain like ultimate weapons or anything like that, which I always go for in RPGs, I love getting like the superior weapons in the game. And they did a good job of making these side missions or these like side activities still fun and very approachable. Like the point values for having to like get like ingredients for ultimate weapons, like they're like some of the early point values you can do. So like if you didn't want to like really grind away at side activities, you don't have to. So everything that like kind of like feels like, okay, this is like RPG chore stuff, like it always gets better at the end. Like fast travel, you have to go from taxi cab to taxi cab, but like later on they just unlock it from your phone. So things that do seem grindy and traditional, almost every single facet where I was like, okay, this is getting a little old, they kind of relinquish it.
Yeah.
Around the time where you're tired of it. So it was just really impressed by the overall package. Love the story. And I'm very, very happy I jumped into the first one.
The characters I think in particular is what stood out to me. Like just the heart and soul of those guys. Like I'd love everyone by the end of it. Like everyone. I would die for these people.
And even deplorable characters, they give you reasons to, and I have some gripes. Like there's a very, very deplorable character at the very end, kind of responsible for the whole mess that you're in. And at the end, it's like, we love him too. And it's like, well, some of these guys aren't very, very redeemable, but it was still done in such like a over the top soap opera-ish way that like I was in smiles. I was in like, and like there was one of the last lines like teared me up too, because it kind of like really attacks what like I'm kind of experiencing in my real life. So I felt like the welling in my eyes, like, oh my God, a video game is making me do this again. This was crazy. So overall, man, it just, I don't want to dig deep into it because this is a 2020 game. I really want to talk deeper into the mechanics and the comparisons when I jump into Infinite Wealth, because I'm sure there's going to be a ton of that. I'm excited for the quality of life improvements, which I'm surprised that there apparently are tons of improvements in that area, because I felt like the quality of life improvements were slowly introduced as you play the first game.
I can name one right off the bat that you said that they've already improved.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the taxi thing right from the beginning of the game, you can pull up from your phone.
Yeah.
So that's something that new players didn't have to deal with, that going from taxi to taxi thing, because I guess they just were like, well, it doesn't make sense to take it away, so just have someone have it from the beginning.
Yeah. Do you have any FOMO whatsoever of missing out on Ichiban's?
None whatsoever. I spoke to a bunch of
man.
people that played it. Like I might go back and play it after. But I tried again. I was kind of in the same boat as you. Like I tried playing some of the other ones, and I just was kind of like, on them. And then partly because I think my taste in games has kind of changed a lot over the last couple of years, especially with turn-based stuff. Like I actually really like turn-based stuff now. I kind of find it I find it relaxing.
I need the
like,
time to think about how my hands work.
It's seriously that's part of it too. But yeah, I kind of like it. And then I spoke to some people and was like, no, like honestly, like, do you really need to play it? And everyone pretty much gave the same answer. No, you don't need to. Like, it helps. And they do a really good job of whenever a character pops up in Infinite Wealth, they kind of give you a rundown, not necessarily a rundown, but you kind of know how, like, what they did in the they give you a background, but it's in a good way. It's not like they just throw up a splash screen and say, this is what they did. Like, it'll be what's his face, Ichiban, like telling somebody a story, and they'll be like, oh, this is the person that did this. Like they kind of do that kind of thing. Like, even I guess there's a lobster you get in the first one named Nancy.
Yep.
So like crawfish,
crawfish. Okay, well, it looks like a lobster, but he says he's about to leave for Hawaii, and he's in a pot, and you see him there, and he's like, oh, by the way, and he talks like third or fourth person. What is that when you're speaking to like the camera type thing? And he's like, oh, this is my pet lobster. I'm pretty sure he says lobster, but he goes, my pet Nancy, I found her, blah blah blah, and I took her home and put her in this pot. It's a joke, but she kind of likes it in there. So it gives you like a little bit of context stuff, which I like. It's definitely when normally if a character pops up, I would be like, oh, I'm not supposed to know who this person is probably. But they so far, and I'm probably about 10 hours in, they do a pretty good job of at least giving you a gist of who the characters are and what they did in the previous game.
Yeah,
and it really is the developer's responsibility to do that in the sequel. Like, you don't want to give them too much to make it seem like you're just retelling, you're just telling stories and stuff like that. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that's just kind of how it was laid out in this game. But I could not be more excited to jump into Infinite Wealth after I think I kind of rushed in the back half. I kind of rushed through the storyline because I really wanted to get this game like all tied up before we recorded, so I can just jump into the sequel. Because I don't feel burnt out at all.
That's good. Actually. Then that's a better time to jump into it. Then
how long did it take you?
I would guess 65, 70 around there.
Yeah, because you started talking about it, I went and looked, and it is big time on sale on PSN right now. Like,
it's really? Oh, the first one.
Yeah, first one is $12 right now.
It's on Game Pass.
So
it's free on Game Pass. Oh, it's even better.
That's why I jumped on it so fast. It was there.
That's fair.
I was like, I wonder how much this is, and I was like, oh, never mind. I'm just gonna grab it.
Let me. I'm gonna bring.
I do really love the characters though. Like both you guys said,
it does amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I did my top 10 lists that year for Giant Bomb, all that I had for the entry in Like a Dragon was like, I want someone to look at me the way Ichiban looks at everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's a badass with a heart of gold. He's great. He's
all good people
don't even know
a friend like Ichiban, man. He's great, man. I really, really dug him. I'm gonna destroy. I'm so not familiar with the Yakuza series, so please, listeners, forgive me if you are. The main character from all the other games, Kazuma.
Kiryu. It's Kiryu.
Yep. So anyway, I forgot what I was going to say about him, but I was going to. Oh no, okay. So when I played my previous Yakuza game where you play as Kiryu, I just couldn't relate to him at all. But I was also kind of coming in the middle of his story.
Yeah.
I really so that didn't do me any favors. I'm sure if I jumped into Yakuza 0, I would probably have a little bit of a better taste for it, especially now after coming off of, 70 hours of a lore dump from this entire series. And also, like, the things that they do in this game, like, I don't know this series that great, but it seems pretty freaking huge, the stuff that they do.
Does.
Like, it's nuts. Like, you want to talk about shifting the paradigm of the gameplay? They also shifted the paradigm of what is going on in that world. It is they took a lot of chances, and I love when developers do that. And sometimes it doesn't always work out, but it worked.
Dude, this time. New one is apparently like by far their bestseller. Like it's reached an entire different like threshold for their sales. Like it was like on like Steam, because that's the only thing they've reported so far, because you can see Steam numbers, but it was like by far their highest.
Infinite Wealth has it's on a list that it shares with maybe 30 games with a perfect score of 40 on Famitsu.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. There are not many reviewers out there where if I see their score and it's a 10, I'm like, no questions asked. If they like it, they say it's perfect, I'm playing it. Famitsu's one of them, especially in the JRPG area. And to see a game,
Famitsu doesn't give perfect scores.
They don't give perfect scores, man.
It doesn't happen a lot.
They don't. And I respect that.
I do remember there was some controversy with them a while back.
Look, maybe the organization is not what it used to be. Yeah. I don't know. I don't keep up with them and everything, but like there is a legacy with that review with that review score system that Famitsu has. And there's a legacy with it. And if you're on that list, it's like being in NFL Hall of Fame. There's only 100 people on the planet that will ever experience that, that reason to celebrate. And I don't know. Like I think that it's a big deal, and I was impressed. I was impressed by the score, and it just kind of made it a no-brainer to jump into it.
Good.
So,
I'm glad.
Yeah. I might as well go to Infinite Wealth so we don't split that up. But yeah, I mean, the FOMO got to me. Like everyone was talking about it, so I was like, "Fuck it, let's do this." And some things I think, like I've heard they improved the battle system. Like you can kind of free roam now in the fights, which I'm not totally like can't walk around the entire battle arena. It's kind
of like a Parasite Eve kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Yes. So you can line up enemies or line them up with like in between, an enemy in between like your partners and stuff, and they do like combo attacks, and the attacks are just wacky. They're fun. They're like Tanya. Okay, so Tanya had a joke. We had a running gag going when I was playing Final Fantasy 15. She'd always say, like, whenever I was playing it, she'd be like, all you seem to be doing is driving around a car with your dudes, like these two guys. So we had a joke, like, she's like, oh, you hanging out with your bros tonight? And I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah. So she saw me playing this, and she's like, is this like another bro game? Like, it is, but we're 40. It's like, so now this is the new bro game. It's great. It's all the characters, like, I can't say what the characters are like in the previous one, but Namba and the older guy, like they're great. It does start very slow, but I guess that's par for the course for these games. But I'm at the point now, dude, if a game's supposed to be like 40 hours plus, I'm just assuming that it's going to take at least 10 to 12 hours to really start going of any of these games now, because that seems to be the case.
I'm fine with people that are 20 hours in and still like in the tutorial portion of it. So like strap in.
Yeah, I'm still learning. I'm sure
it's a great ride.
I'm loving it, man. There's one little gripe I have, and it's not about the game, and I don't know if the first one did this. Every single cutscene, it flashes the skip button in the bottom right corner, and it drives me nuts. I'm like, I don't want to skip it, and I don't want to see that button because I need to search in the options to see if I can turn that off.
Is it just a standalone watching cutscene, or is it just to help you like click the A button to?
No, it's during the
conversation.
It's like a hold A to skip type deal.
So there, in the first game, you can quicken the pace of conversations.
It does skipping. That here,
yeah. So that's kind of par for the course for most games. But I don't know.
No, the one I'm talking about is not par for the course. This isn't that. It's not a speeding up of the dialogue. It's one where there's no subtitles. It's like it's a cutscene,
and you can skip it.
Yeah, if you do hit the button, it skips it, like literally skips it.
They probably added it as an option because you cannot skip. You cannot skip cutscenes whatsoever.
In the first one. Okay,
no.
And just when people listen, when I say first one, I mean 7. Yeah. Okay, because it just bugs me because it always flashes like I'm not hitting it, and it's like it's reminding me like, hey, if you want to skip, I'm like, I don't want to skip this. This is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I am playing with the English dub
Me too.
I know some people are like, but at first I didn't.
Yeah.
I
thought you switched to Japanese.
I did. So I started with English, and then there was a scene kind of, and I was like, this just kind of sounds really cheesy in English. So I switched it to Japanese. But then I realized, no, the inflation, the way that they overact stuff is still there. And the English acting is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
The English acting is great, actually.
Yeah, it's really good. So I'm just like, I'm just going to keep it on English because I just find it pay attention more.
Yeah, me too. I'm curious. Jason, did you play it in English or do you play it in the native language?
To be honest, I don't fucking remember. Like, I remember his English voice distinctly. So I probably just went with the dub, I think. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, man, it's I thought the voice acting was pretty quality. I do have one gripe. All my gripes are nitpicks in this game. All my gripes are nitpicks. Like, the game is not like a total looker. Like, it's so weird. No. Like, sometimes in this game I'm like, oh, that looks really good, and sometimes I'm like, oh my god, it looks so bad.
That's like Infinite Wealth too.
Yeah, it's so hit and miss. And but like with the character models, like it's kind of like an open zone area. Like the side characters look okay and stuff like that. The male characters look awesome. Like all the male characters, like the texture is so
their skin, their
pores, you see everything. It's so nice. They do a terrible job with the girls. The girls look like the females look like NPCs. I was so disappointed on how generic they were. Like the character design's not fantastic for these characters. At least in the first game. I don't know how they look in the second one, but
when you change your jobs in the first one, do they give you different outfits?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because that's where I find the character design pretty cool. It's like
those jobs are great too, man. Because like the special, if there's one girl, Eddie, who is the office worker, she's like the optional character that you can get, and she her first job is like she's just like an office worker, a secretary or something. And all of her magic attacks, all of her special attacks, like she attacks with like rulers, box cutters, she throws tacks. Like, so if you think about that context, like you have you have like a mafia guy, and you have Ichiban, who's a hero, and you have so everything's kind of like the jobs are ingrained in real life, and what they use to attack is ingrained in real life, but then it's all flashy. And like there's explosions and fireworks and enemies are popping up in like weird outfits, and all because like Ichiban he's a gamer and he imagines all these guys like dressed in weird stuff, and he imagines himself in a suit of armor and like that. Like I love that. It's such a great touch.
It's to really
explain why you still get to see all this wacky stuff.
Was Ichiban like a weenie in the first one? Like, how was he with girls? Okay,
no, he was a total weenie, but like like he still had that lofty, like heroic, like instinct in him. But he was kind of like like a very fledgling like Yakuza member. Like
with a heart of gold.
With a heart of gold. Like, he would find somebody that like, swindled somebody else, get the money, and then give it back to the original people instead of bringing it back to his boss or whatever. So he's always been that weenie with the heart of gold.
Pretty early you go on a date with a girl, and the way he handles this date, I'm just like, motherfucker is 40? Like, really? Is this 40-year-old virgin up in here? Because it was funny, don't get me wrong. But what he does in this first date, it's just like, oh my god. But it's good. Yeah. And I saw my first serious, I guess, scene, the quote unquote, and it is kind of jarring when you go, because he's kind of bumbly. It's like, it's bubbly. It's like down moments, but it's not like crazy. But then one scene happened, I was like, holy shit, this is this is mature. This is fucking dark. And I was like, ooh, okay. All right. I like what I'm getting into here, but I'm enjoying it. I'm digging it a lot.
Good.
Oh,
it's fun.
I love it.
I think I am going to go back and play the other one, and I think I'm going to play that one that just came out like a month ago or 2 months ago. The
Ishin
man who lost his name.
Oh yeah,
Ishin, the racist name one. Yeah, I'm going to try that because that's apparently really short. Apparently, it's only like 10 hours or something like that.
Speaking of something really short, did anybody play that Silent Hill demo? I haven't touched it. No one played that? I'm actually
thinking about
shocked.
Downloading it because they're just going to pull it like they did PT. So my PS5 is going to be worth like $600
like $1 billion
at some point.
Yeah.
600. You better pump those numbers up, son.
Yeah.
No, I have not played that yet.
Nope.
Oh, probably eventually. I'll wait for one of you guys to play it and let me know if it's worth playing.
Yeah, I really want to talk about I really just wanted to gush about what I've played in the series so far. Just because I know that I'm really going to get into the meat of the technicalities. Like that's what I really want to talk about. Like what this game looks like today. What this developer can do today. I really didn't want to judge my experience on the series as a whole until I really jumped into it. So I'm pumped for first impressions for Infinite Wealth next week.
Yeah, definitely do it up.
I'll talk about some roguelikes real quick, and I'm just going to shoot through them really quickly. So a few that I played. Astral Ascent. I can go ahead and guys and give you the Travis Bomb stamp of approval on this joint. It does a really good job of melding a lot of the good stuff that Dead Cells did and a lot of stuff that Hades, like that in between run stuff that Hades did, and kind of like threw them together, mixed them up in a can, and surprisingly what came out was not dog food. I can fully endorse Astral Ascent. If you are a fan of, maybe not a fan of the genre, but you at least like Dead Cells, this is finally the game that it might be time to jump into to kind of scratch that itch. I really enjoyed.
Yeah, it's got a good look to it. When I played a little bit of it, I had really high hopes for it afterwards. So that's good to hear.
They nailed the long-term upgrades and they nailed the end game.
Cool.
They did a really, really good job with that. And obviously with mini games similar to Dead Cells, these games grow and grow and grow and grow as they have new updates and releases and DLCs. So I'm excited to see what that game looks like in the coming months.
Yeah.
Sadly, nothing hits as high as that. I'll start with the lowest of the lows first. And sadly, it was one of the things that I was the most excited about, and that was The Last of Us 2 No Return mode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not a fan of mixing the tenets of the roguelike genre with the slow, heavy combat of The Last of Us. It's just not fun. Like when you're fighting human enemies, it is what it is. But sometimes they'll just like throw like 5 runners and 2 clickers at you at once, and it's like you got to survive. And it's like, how? Like this game's not built for me to survive against all these guys. Like it's not a fun time. So like there are some characters.
Are they a little bit more giving with the ammo in that mode?
They're a bit, yeah, they're a bit, but you obviously want to like save your ammo for harder. You don't want to waste all your ammo in the first couple of runs when you're fighting easy things, just to kind of breeze through them, because you're gonna run out pretty quickly for when the encounters get small. So there is some strategy there, but it's just not fun. Like I wasn't enjoying myself. Like it's fun when you're actually taking the time to methodically like immerse yourself in the story and go from point A to point B and figure out what's going on in the story. But like, I don't know. It just did not feel good whatsoever. And I was bummed. I was super hyped for no.
You know what they should have done with it?
Not make it.
Oh, well, I was going to say make it turn-based, obviously.
Oh, that fixes it, right?
Yeah.
I would actually.
Fixes everything.
I could do that. I could do a Last of Us RPG. I'm not gonna lie.
Just put an Ichiban. It'll be fine.
That's all you got to do. I also played a new game on Game Pass called Brotato.
I saw that today. What's that like?
Okay.
So obviously the game pulls you in from its art style. It definitely has that
name.
It has like it has the binding of it has that binding of Isaac, that Super Meat Boy art style. And so the game's definitely a looker, and it's not a standard roguelike. It's very similar to Vampire Survivors. It's more of that survival type roguelike where all you do essentially is just move your character around the board. And then when you pick up new weapons, you just need to position yourself to not lose health, and also position yourself to cause damage on the enemies and everything. If you play Vampire Survivor, you know exactly what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
Where Vampire Survivor succeeded, they gave you a ton of unlockables. They gave you a ton of new maps, different modes. By the time that game released on Game Pass, it was fully formed. I don't know what Brotato wants me to achieve.
And I want to say that
go
game's
back to
been
Vampire
out for
Survivors
a while. Like I think it's been out on Steam for quite a while. Yeah.
So when I play these games, like the gameplay is important, but like I want long-term goals. I want to,
June of last year. Okay.
Wow. Okay. There's not much in this game. There are not too many maps. The maps are also much smaller, and they do a couple of things that I like better than Vampire Survivor. And Jason, I think you'll appreciate this. You know how sometimes 2D side scrollers, there's two types of 2D side scrollers, right? There are the side scrollers that if you just touch an enemy, you take damage.
Yeah.
And then there's the type where if they do an attack animation.
To attack, yeah.
Exactly. They actually take Vampire Survivor and actually do that. You have to get hit by an attack. So if you see a wall of enemies going, if you time it right, you can just run right through them. Sure. And it sounds like it makes it easier, but the areas are much smaller. You have borders. You can't, it's not like Vampire Survivor and you can just book it. You can just hightail it because it's infinite. So it's fun. It's good. The problem is, like, I don't know what I'm achieving. I don't know why I'm doing this. When you go into the progress section, all there is like a series of maybe 40 or 50 achievements. And then there are characters that you can unlock, and they all have different starting attributes. And that's it. There are no, from what I've played so far, it's very early, just like an hour and a half. I've seen no like permanent upgrades, nothing like that. And it kind of begs me to question, like, why would I play this game? Like,
yeah,
if there's no progression, I've seen everything that there is to do in this game. Like, I don't care about achievements. I don't care about extra characters. That's not, and unless the extra characters had like some depth to them, have it be through an engaging story, which is usually not that important here, or just like you can level them up and permanently make them stronger and stronger until you find builds that work for you. There seems to be none of that.
Well, you know what would make that better?
Make it turn-based.
Make it a Last of Us game.
If it was a Last of Us game, it definitely would have been more frustrating. No, it is. So yeah, that's kind of the roguelikes I've been playing. Brotato, I'm going to give it more of a shot because it is fun to play, and I want to see if something unlocks.
It's rated like overwhelmingly positive on Steam.
I noticed
as well.
that.
So like, there's got to be something to it somewhere.
I'm hoping that just early goings, there's just not much to it, and something does open up later on. But like in the menus, there's just not much there. It's very bare bones. So I'll keep messing around with it because it's one of those few games. There are not very many video games where my wife likes to sit and watch, and that ended up being one of them, as well as Vampire Survivor. So it's always having a good game. It's always good to have a game that, you know, your SO wants to sit and watch. So get you one of those, guys. Highly recommendo. But that's it for me.
Word.
All right. Jeff, did you have something new, right?
I do have something new. So a couple of weeks ago, a new Pokemon a new Arc game. That's not right either. Pal World. You guys have heard of it, right?
I tried it too.
Taking over the world.
Seriously,
19 million.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's doing incredibly well.
It's ridiculous.
So I was like, fuck. I don't like these type of games. I was zero interested in it when I thought it was literally just a Pokemon ripoff.
This was a double negative for me because it's Pokemon and survival, and it's like both of those things are a no for me.
Yeah, the Pokemon thing, I was like automatic no. But then when I heard it was survival, I'm like, okay, I've heard a lot of people like stuff like Ark and like Grounded and that type of thing. So I'm like, okay, well,
like those,
yeah. So I was like, and people were telling me it's really good. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll try it. So I download it, and it's early access. It's on Game Pass, so I didn't pay for it or anything. So immediately I make my character. I go in there, and right in the top it says, pick up 3 branches, get 4 rocks.
Yep.
And I'm like, I walked up to a boulder and I held down a button to punch. And the second he started punching, I'm like, nope, I deleted it. I'm like, I'm not doing this.
So rocks.
Yeah. So then people are talking about it in the Discord, in the Retroids Discord, like SassBob and Arkham's Razor and fucking like Oates and someone else are saying it's actually really good. You need to like just trust me, just stick with it or whatever. So I'm like, fine, I'll download it again. It does sound cool the way they were describing it, like whatever. And I'm just like, that sounds cool. I'm gonna try it again. So I did my session of Prince of Persia, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it before I go to bed or whatever. So I load it up. I pick up the 3 sticks. I beat that rock to get some stones.
Yay.
And I'm like, okay, well, it's kind of relaxing, I guess. You know, throw on a podcast or something, whatever, listen to some music. And then it just more stuff like that keeps popping up. Oh, by the way, it runs like absolute dog shit.
Right.
So it's like that frame rate is all over the place. I don't know if it's unlocked and they're trying to get 60 and it just keeps dropping to 30 or low. I don't know, but it just does not run.
It was bad. Like dog shit on
the performance
Xbox.
Was horrible.
Yeah, it's not good. So
I had the same experience as you. I did jump into it for a little bit. The hype got me, so I downloaded it, tried it out. I think I was in there maybe an hour and 15, and I just couldn't do it. The one thing that got me interested was the actual combat, because it felt less like a Pokemon game and more like Ni no Kuni. So I was kind of interested in what
I didn't even get
here.
As far as combat. Sorry, let me finish. Sorry, Travis. I was still in the middle of a thought. So yeah, so I didn't get into combat or anything like that, and I'm just going out there trying to get these things, and I got it. I'm thinking, okay, well, I have to do this thing to make this ball, like a Pokeball. You capture these pals, and you bring them back to your base, and then when you get them to your base, then it popped up and said, okay, if they don't have a bed, they get stressed out. That made me stressed. I'm like, oh shit, because I don't like micromanaging shit. Yeah. I know. And then I was like, well, what if I don't get him a bed in time? Is he going to go? Is he going to die? Is he going to whatever? So then I'm like, I go out in the field and I'm looking for shit. And I'm like, okay, well, no, it's getting dark.
This rock.
Yeah. And then I come back. I'm like, I didn't get one of these blue griffin fucking crystals or something. I'm like, where the fuck are those? So then I'm going around like, why? What am I doing? There's no point. I'm just going to, if anything, I'll wait till it, because the Xbox, they're working with them now to get it better on there, whatever. So I'm like, maybe I'll try it when it's full, but I'm not going to. I've tried Grounded. I never tried Ark, but I could never get into them. It's the same shit. It's it's just micromanagement the game.
So
let me get back to my thought real quick. This game fucking sucks.
Oh my God.
It's not for me. I'm not going to say that. It's not for me.
I'm not going to say it sucks. If you're into survival and if you're into Pokemon, you're probably going to like it.
Yeah. It doesn't perform well.
It doesn't perform well on Xbox, right?
No, right now. Or on PC Game Pass, it doesn't either.
Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't really run well on Steam either. It doesn't run well in general. Yeah. It's just worse on Xbox. Yeah.
Everything is clunky. Combat is clunky. Just everything sucks. All right. Everything sucks.
And all of the art is AI generated. So
Jeff was talking about.
There's been a lot of shit come out since then.
Yeah. I'm
talking what?
I was just going to say something, but it's over and done now. But
okay. Yeah, they've been a bunch of people whatever going through they've had lawyers look at it and shit. And Nintendo's even come out and they did make one guy take down his Pokemon mod, I guess, on Steam. But a lot of the lawyers saying they're not doing anything wrong. There's no actual evidence of AI, just assumptions. But who knows? I don't know. I don't care. The way I look at it is, if it is AI and people are 19 million people is insane. There are AAA developers that would kill to have second biggest launch ever or most concurrent games players on Steam ever. That's so whatever they're doing, they know that market and people are liking it. It's just not for me. I can't do it. I would even say let's try co-op, but I don't even want to. I don't even want to try co-op.
I just don't do survival games at all. It's just not for me.
Close to that game was Valheim. I liked that game a lot.
Oh, I do. Yeah, that looked cool.
As far as survival games are concerned, but for the most part, I usually steer clear.
Minecraft was the last one that I could say that I really enjoyed.
Minecraft. I've never even loaded up Minecraft. No, I was going to say Valheim. Did you play a lot of that, or was it just you just gave it a few hours and you're like, no, just
a handful
confirmed,
of hours.
Not good.
Yeah, we didn't get very far. We built a few houses and shit. We tried to cross a river, got to a different island, and just got murdered over there. So we're like, fuck it. I think we're done.
The only survival game I really got into, and the reason is because it was bite-sized pieces of survival, was Tribes of Midgard. Which it was more of a situation where you could jump in with a bunch of friends and you played for, you could play the story mode and it could last a few hours, or you could play the actual survival mode and go as long as you want. But the story mode is where I put a lot of time in, because the sessions were shorter. They were 1 or 2 hours long. So yeah, you're going out and you're collecting all this shit, but everything is very quick to be completed. So like the return on investment is pretty fast. And in reality, like the fights and the boss fights and everything were just really cool in that game. So
Eddie Kusanagi like is huge into Ark. Like he's like a Don or something on a server. I don't know. He overlooks a server or something. Now. Yeah, he is. Yeah, exactly. And I remember every time I see a trailer for that or like clips on like TikTok or something, like that game looks awesome. Like dinosaurs, riding dinosaurs looks amazing. Yeah. And I'm like, well, how long does it take to get that good? And he's like, oh, you got to play for like hundreds of hours. I'm like, well, like why even show that? Like, no. If I have to be in a loincloth for fucking like 90 hours before something cool happens.
Like, yeah, until you fucking
no thanks.
I tried Conan for a while and I couldn't get into that one. I did try.
Oh, was that a survival game too?
Yeah, Conan was a survival game, and there was one other one I tried that I couldn't get into as well, and I can't remember what it is. But gotcha. Ark was PS Plus at one time, and we jumped in as a group, and they all continued. Like they're like part of our Destiny group was playing it for a while, and I was just like, no, it's not for me.
Yeah, I can't poo-poo it. It's not for me. I just can't get into them. You guys
are lame. Admit it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't like dinosaurs. I'm sorry.
Besides Prince of Persia, I finished that today.
Yay!
Nice.
I rolled credits on that.
Oh shit, that game is good.
It is very good.
It is overall really good.
I don't know if it's going to end up in my top 3.
Well, it's not a turn-based. Well, obviously, it's not.
Exactly. That's right. Because there are a few things that game does that makes my ass itch, and it's like one, no mini map. How is there not any mini map?
That's bothersome.
Okay,
that drove me insane.
I felt like I was pulling up the map every time.
Every 2 seconds.
You know. Yeah. It's like, oh, did I pass where I needed to turn? Nope, I'm good. Yeah, I did. I got to go back. So yeah,
I've gone.
I feel like it's a staple. I feel like it's a staple. You need to have one.
Yeah, I mean, Metroid fucking had one. Like it's the first one. How is it? Or it might have been Super Metroid. I know it definitely one of those two.
The original Metroid didn't have any map at all. Like you had to go find it, but.
I'm thinking of Super
Metroid,
then.
I think did, yeah. And Metroid 2, I don't think had anything. It didn't have anything either, but that was on Game Boy, so that's no surprise.
And the only other thing, and again, this kind of goes like with Travis saying, it's like it's like a nitpick. It's not like it's a huge deal, but as much as I like the Super Meat Boy Ori-esque platforming, I thought there was way too much, and especially when you're backtracking. I wish it would do something where if you did it once, then like the traps would retract or something, so it made it more fun to go through those areas with the traversal stuff. When it was just like
weird,
you go to an area that you're not really familiar with because you haven't been there in a while, and then those are just like hitting those for the same time for the first time sometimes. And I'm just like, this is just bringing my flow to a dead crawl. I
was praising the game at the time by thinking, wow, it's great that they're not having me backtrack an awful lot. So that's interesting that you felt you had to go through those areas again in reverse order or whatever.
You didn't have to per se, I guess. True. But when I did do it, if I wanted to clear out an area, like that they didn't fully uncover, you have to go through them again. And I didn't want to do the skipping thing, which I guess you could do.
It depends. Like I noticed that a lot of the platforming sections that were really challenging had like a shortcut you could open up, like more often than
like on the way back.
Yeah, like when you would finish up and go and open a door that was blocked before, and you could just run right through it. The one that comes to mind is Jeff. You were actually the desert's a part, but the in the area where it's when you were praising like the part where you do the recording of yourself, You know what I'm talking about? Where you have to record yourself twice and then try and get to the end of the
Oh,
the
yeah,
puzzle.
yeah.
So there's the area where there's like 4 of those, right? I remember distinctly that there were 2 of the shortcuts in there because there's a lot of the platforming to get through in that section, and there's also a specific enemy that makes everybody invulnerable that you have to find.
Oh,
you have to track down and kill. You remember what I'm talking about now, Jason?
Yep.
And I remember specifically that once I got through, and there were 2 of them. Once I got through with each individual one, there was a shortcut that I could open up that led me right to one of the trees. Yeah. And I noticed that more often than not, but I did a little bit of backtracking after I beat the game. I beat it this week as well. And I don't feel like I had to run through any major platforming sections. There's some. Yeah,
I did, and I felt it was, even if it was not backtracking, it was so often, like every time you got to a new area, it was like, I like those games for me personally to have some kind of time just to enjoy the traversal and not have to worry about doing a traversal puzzle every new room, or like every second new room. There was like no time to be like, to kind of like relax. And the backtracking part, there are what's it called? Shortcuts, like you said. But the problem is the way the map is done, they don't show you, like if there's a big room, it doesn't show you each individual ledge. So you can totally forget that shortcut is even there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I found that today I was doing, because you get that grappling mechanic. And if you go to the top entrance of this room, you can just grapple across like 3 of those things. But if you don't, you're jumping back and forth through these like pillar things. So there's minor nitpick.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
The pillars that would like go up and down.
Yes, would go like up and down with the spikes on them.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just a minor thing. It's just something that might stop me from doing a full playthrough again, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I just don't know if I can put it as high as Metroid Dread, Will the Wisp,
higher than Metroid Dread,
Castlevania. I love Metroid Dread, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Metroid Dread is great, but like the annoyance that you have with the platforming is the annoyance that I have with those. I don't remember what they're called, but the enemies that you always had to. The one-hit kill enemies that you had the opportunity to count. Fuck those guys.
I noped the fuck out of that game.
That almost ruined that game for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Metroid Dread was great outside of that mechanic. It's like
to go against like the Prince of Persia. Once you beat the one in that area, you never have to put up with it again. It's gone. So when you're going through those areas,
when you beat it, yes, but there's one area where you have to actually traverse through the room, and
there's a few of those
several times, and every time I came to one of those rooms, it was just like, God, like mental.
I am not disagreeing with that.
Straight up,
I'm just
and I never felt that with Prince of Persia at all. So, but I do want. So you mentioned the grapple. I do want to just take a moment to appreciate how fucking great everything feels.
The grapple during boss fights and shit. Oh my god,
so good, man! Like, and that's kind of why I was praising the platforming the last time we talked, because it just felt like every mechanic that they added, every power that you got, felt so good. The only caveat to that I have, there's the mechanic that they give you that basically does the invert. So it's like there's the transparent
dimension or whatever,
blue things, and they do the dimension shift.
Okay.
I hated that because they put that in platforming, and they put it on the right stick. So I'm going from jump to right stick, back to jump, and back to right, and I hated that. But outside of that, like it never got to so that was never a problem where it killed me or anything.
Yeah.
But it always just felt unnatural. But everything else was just like from a pure platforming perspective, it just felt like butter. It was great.
That particular mechanic I've always hated in games like Guacamelee and Outland, even though that was like a big part of that game. Oh,
that was all what Outland was.
That's all. Yeah, that's a huge thing. But it's like this worked for me for whatever reason. I don't know why this game clicked so fucking well, but it
wasn't as crazy with that aspect. I like that part too.
Shit, I like this game.
Yeah, it was really
it was good. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was fucking great.
Do they
one of the things I'm really happy with
1,000 copies?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if it was less than that.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's
fucked up.
It's gross.
Buy this game, people. It is a fantastic Metroidvania.
Yeah. I want new games. I want new takes on franchises. But
yeah.
One
of the other things that I think is really interesting is how different our experiences were. And this is something that, like, in Discord,
for like boss fights and shit.
Yeah, we were having chats about some of the different bosses, because some of the bosses are really hard. You're gonna run into a boss you have problems with, and you have to do it like half a dozen times or whatever.
Or switch to easy, like I did.
Yeah, that's what I did too, and some were still fucking hard.
Yep. So Jason mentioned the dude with the bow last week. I had a lot of trouble with that dude too. I think I fought him 6 to 8 times. And then Jeff was like, "Oh yeah, I beat him like 2 or 3." But then, like, the very next guy is a more. It's less of a speed focus and more of a power focus. And I was able to beat him my first try. So it's just interesting. And then, like, the final boss, I was able to get through in on my second try. But
see, the second one, the big one you're talking about before that, I beat on my first try too. But the last boss, that motherfucker, it took me a bit. It definitely took me like,
holy shit.
That's another.
It was really, really impressive, like how all that shit worked together.
How it got tied together. Well, that boss that you had, the archer guy. Like, once I found out kind of by fluke something, I was like, holy shit, this literally changed. Like, he kicked my ass the first 2 times, but then the third time I made easy work of him just because I figured this little trick out that I just kind of stumbled on. And the boss that I was really stuck on, Glenn, was like, "Oh, don't forget to use this power. You can use this for this."
First try,
I beat him right away.
Nice.
I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
I like that though. That's good design.
I incidentally, saw a video of somebody beating that archer dude, and I'm like, "Fuck!" I was not parrying that. I could have done that and set him up for like all kinds of shit.
Yep.
But I didn't do that. Like, I would dodge through it or whatever.
I was using dodge too, and I think that's where it was, because I wasn't using parry at all on him. But one of the things I also did not use was the clone, and I think the clone probably would have been helpful in some cases too. More than anything, though, is like I specifically remember last week talking about one of the female bosses that was on a mount, and she had like a move that there was no way to dodge around. And then afterwards I'm talking to Jeff, and it's like, I don't know why I didn't think to clone through that. Like, that would have been so simple, and I didn't think to do it. They give you so many things, and sometimes you just forget what you have. It's just how it
that's
goes.
literally you don't think about doing it because a lot of it's traversal stuff, and you don't even think about doing it in a fight.
And
I didn't even know the thing Glenn told me. I didn't even know you could do.
God, this is amazing how they packed so much shit in this. Oh boy,
it's good.
I like the game a lot.
And other than that glitch, that only happened twice, Chris, to me, and it was twice in quick succession. It was fine. Yeah,
it happened 3 times to me, or 3 or 4 times. The first 3 times, I didn't know what the problem was. It wasn't until it happened in the same place twice in a row that I was like, all right, let me go look this up and find out what it was.
I wonder if it was the same spot it happened to me. Was it
Pirate Captain?
Yep, Pirate Captain. Yep.
Yeah, that's apparently a spot where it pops up. So for anyone who plays this game, one of the issues that the issue that Jeff and I are talking about is when you're in the middle of a dialogue, sometimes the game will not come back out of the dialogue so that you can start playing again. You just your character just kind of gets stuck in.
It locks up, but it doesn't lock up.
You can't switch rooms or whatever.
No. You can't move around or anything. The only button that works is the PS button for if you're playing on PlayStation. So the way that I found to fix it is basically shut off your controller and turn it back on, and it re-registers the controller, and then you can start playing again.
That's what fixed it for me too.
Yeah. So, and you were playing on Xbox, right?
Yep. And it was the exact same issue and exact same fix. And you're right. That area in the east is very, very cool area.
Oh my gosh! Like, just the thing is that it's more of a. I wonder what happened right there. The way that whole thing lays out. And I'm not going to spoil anything on this one because Like if you play this game and you get to the Raging Sea, you're going to know what we're talking about. Like it's fucking amazing. Like it's probably my favorite environment of a Metroidvania ever.
Yeah.
So, good on them for what they did. And, that includes like the fucking catacombs in Symphony of the Night, which I absolutely fucking love. So, ambiance is a big thing when it comes to that. With but yeah, this was super cool.
Indeed, it was good. Yeah. It'll probably be on my my end of year list, most likely somewhere. I mean, right now it's number one. So.
Hey, there you
just by default.
On February 1st, after we've played maybe 2 or 3 games.
Game of the month.
All right. I don't have anything else to add. I didn't have anything new this week. It was all Prince of Persia for me, just trying to get through that game. So, so I'm just going to pass it off to Mr. Chorney, and let's jump into State of Play, sir.
Well, we got some news first, dude.
Oh, news. Sorry.
Yes. We do have...
you didn't tell me that. I didn't know that. Sorry.
It's in the chat, buddy. It's in the chat.
What chat? I don't know what chat you're talking about.
It's in the Discord. What chat? What are you talking about? It's just something really quick, and it's just something I wanted to comment on because this isn't the first time this has happened. So basically, Suicide Squad comes out, I think, tomorrow officially, Friday.
Sure.
But if you pay the extra money for it, the $100
or whatever,
the $20 or $30 extra, you got to play it early access on, I believe it was Tuesday,
which is the devious thing because that is the single most like enticing thing.
Yep, that's the thing people will do.
Shit, I could play this.
Did you think
now.
About it?
Yeah, because I always equated it back to like I could pay $10 for 3 days of like, man, that's cheaper than Blockbuster was.
Yeah.
I could totally play that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're paying like hard cash to play it early, which in itself, that's fine, whatever. But what happened was the servers were really fucked on day one. The first thing that was happening was some people were getting a glitch where the second they logged into the game completed for them. Like it just... Wow. I'm not sure if it popped the achievement, but it basically completed the story. You're right in the end game. So that was mistake number 1. 2,
did it show the ending and everything? Like
I don't know. I didn't look that far into it, but it basically were like, why am I getting it like completed? And they'd have no option to like start the story. So then, of course, they had server issues. Then the servers went down. They pulled it for 6 hours straight. So for the first day. So that's pretty much a day gone. The next day it was sporadically on and off throughout the entire day. And I don't think they got it really up and running till yesterday, like afternoon or maybe even evening. I don't know. So that's almost your early access gone. So they gifted these people $20 in-game currency.
What?
That chaps my ass a bit because it's got microtransactions. It's going to have battle passes, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And this is the thing, like Jason said, that's an enticing thing to pay for extra for. People are going to do that. I've done it before. I'm sure all have done it before. Yeah. Getting to play a game early is always hype.
We've all done it.
Yeah. It's always a good time. Well, not always, apparently. Yeah. But there have been some times in situations like this. It happened with Diablo as well. And something else recently big happened too, where you're not getting that early access because the servers are fucked. And at this point, you're no longer paying for early access. You're paying for a fucking beta. Like you're paying for a beta test for them to get the shit running when it actually does come out. If it runs perfectly tomorrow, then that's and that's just where I have the issue with like that. And this is a thing now. And I just want to ask you guys, like, what is there a line that certain games you just will not do that with? Like single player games, sure, but if you're a service game, and you better have your shit together to even offer that.
Yeah,
I think it's just. Anyway, I thought that was kind of bullshit. I was like, that is.
It's weird because like a lot of companies have built up a reputation for. Kind of
Microsoft does it all the fucking time.
Microsoft does it. You know what? Ubisoft fucking does it as well. But at the same time, like they had a pretty stable launch with Prince of Persia. Which went a long way to me kind of like getting a little bit of faith back. But I think the bigger the game is, the more skeptical I am. And certainly if it's a live, service game,
For sure. Yeah.
The more skeptical I am that game's going to run well on launch. So I will steer clear of that. But if it's a single player like experience and I get 3 days of additional access, I might pay that for sure. But it's if it's a live game, big company, I'm a little bit
probably not.
Yeah. I'm
because I think I remember Microsoft starting this a while ago, and they still do it for almost everything. They haven't had really much issues, I don't think, but they still do it with almost everything because I guess they do it to offset some gamepad. But it usually comes with DLC, at least because I did it for Starfield. But it's
I did it for Diablo, but it came with other stuff. It wasn't.
Sure, you get. Yeah, well, the Suicide one did come with other stuff too, but it's the main draw. Like if I couldn't play Starfield, like I bought it for the DLC, but the perk was, hey, you get to play it early. And especially if I took like a day off work or a couple days off work, if I was really looking forward to a game, I would be pissed because it's like, it's whatever.
Yeah. Just
anyway,
that day off, right? So
exactly. Let's talk about some announcements and some trailers and some stuff.
There was some stuff.
There was. So Sony had their State of Play, their first one of 2024, yesterday, and we all watched it. Chris, did we all watch it?
I did watch it. Yes, I did watch it.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Chris, take it from here.
Watch it. No, I'm not going to do that.
Chris. So what was the first game they showed us?
The first game actually was Helldivers 2. So
this is actually the Quiz Chris section of the game or the show.
Yeah,
so what we're going to do
I didn't watch it live. I watched it late last night. So
okay, so you watched it. Good job.
Yeah,
good stuff. So what we're going to do with this one, because it was pretty beefy. They showed I think 15 games in total.
Did they really?
So what we're going to do is we're going to do something. We haven't done in a while. We used to do this back in the day because a good friend of ours, a good friend of the show, Nabishin, he would, after any type of, I guess, showcase or anything, he would give us the list of what was shown. And he had this thing called the hype meter, which we would literally just give a one-word answer and whether or not we thought we wanted, like we're excited for a game or not. And then we kind of give a little bit of discussion if it was. So
taking the temperature. Yeah, I get it.
Exactly. Taking the temperature of the room, seeing what we're doing. So we're going to do that today.
All right.
Nice.
So nice is one of the answers.
Shit it back. Yes.
So I'm going to read off a name of a game and then we're all going to go down the line and you're going to say, if you really are excited, MF and Truth is that's the hell yeah. Nice. If you're interested, but you're not super interested. Meh is, oh my God, my cat. Hello.
Yeah. Sound good? You're good. You didn't pause.
Is your cat? What?
Yes. Kaizo. Okay. So meh is you're indifferent to the game. And Hugas, also known as Who Gives a Shit, is you couldn't care less about the game at the moment.
Okay.
So it's basically, it is the hype meter. So does that sound fun to you guys? We can do that?
I think
I've done it before. It is fun. So
it is definitely fun. Sorry, I can't hear you guys.
We'll see if we can avoid going into more detail besides just giving our
we will.
thoughts.
So the first game, Helldivers 2. Chris.
Nice.
Travis.
Meh if I'm playing by myself.
Yeah.
Nice if we have a game night.
Jason.
Nice. I really like the first Helldivers. This could be a good time. Yes.
I am right there with Travis. I am a meh as well because I forgot how much that relies on co-op.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So. It does.
And friendly fires in there. Whew. It's brutal.
Yo, what? Okay, meh.
That'll be fun.
Meh for me.
Well, didn't the first Helldivers had friendly fire? Because it was a different genre. It was a top-down isometric.
It was a top-down.
It was top-down,
This is very different.
Yeah, this is the third person, right? It looks nice.
I just want to watch
Jason, they may change it with the genre, but that was a big part. That was a big part of the strategy, especially when you play with people. Like when you're setting up your shots, you could have a line of fire that crosses.
And because you could duck, couldn't you duck and like go prone and stuff?
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. forgot about that. Yeah.
They've strayed so far from Denise Richards naked in the shower.
You have, but the next game might be for you, Jason.
Okay, what do you got?
We got Stellar Blade.
Oh, dude, motherfucker!
Give me that.
Groove. Like at first, it seemed like they were just stealing assets from a Unity store or something, and making a fucking Devil May Cry. But it seemed like it was there was character design, there was good combat, there was it seemed. I'm excited for this. This looks cool.
Travis.
I'm actually motherfucking truth. I got serious like DMC, but also Nier Automata vibes.
Oh, big time.
I was hooked from the beginning. This is the second time we've seen this game in motion, if I remember correctly.
Oh, it's like the third, if you count when it was a different name. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know any of that, but it looks hype, man. Like the boss battles were looking good. My only gripe with that trailer, I wanted to see more like
boob jiggles
in-game gameplay.
I don't think anybody needed more of that.
I wanted to see more like day-to-day
Ninja Theory.
I wanted to see freeform gameplay.
Ninja.
I wanted to see freeform gameplay versus just like some hot spots of like, cool skills and stuff like that. Like I wanted to see like, what is this combat? Because like
it's going to be a lot of that, and that's okay with me. But
it looks good. Yeah, story seems better than I expected initially too. So. There's an interesting character design, a lot of characters who are human, but they have a lot of cybernetics, like grown into walls and shit. Like it's trippy. The character designs are really, really cool, which is ironic because I think the character design on the main character is pretty sophomoric.
Generic, yeah.
It's sophomoric at best. And but like there's some character
they know who they're selling it to. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And Itagaki would be proud. For sure.
Where does everybody else sit?
That's why it's only getting a nice with me. And the reason is because yes, everything in that trailer looked great. It was very flashy. The combat looks like it's good. But you're as was stated earlier, you're currently in a genre that has something like Devil May Cry. So I need to know what that gameplay feels like. That's what's going to really seal it. Because what I'm worried about is that this is a fan service game that just happens to have a little bit of character action in it.
Maybe.
And that's not what I'm looking for. So I'm giving it a nice. It's kind of it very well could be motherfucking truth. And I kind of hope it is. I guess we'll find out in April. So, or if there's like a demo, like I would absolutely
April 26th demo for this release date. Yeah.
I will say I was surprised that when they said it was coming out. This surprised me.
Yeah.
I'm also a nice for pretty much the same reasons. And I was burnt so bad by Wanted Dead that I'm not trusting any character action game that looks badass from trailers until it's out.
And I got to know what the gameplay is. That's what it is. Yeah. It's all about.
So this one's right up Travis's wheelhouse. We'll start with him. Sonic Shadow Generations.
Settle down, Travis.
Don't get too excited.
Ironically, I think the game looks fun. Like my historic gripe with Sonic is that the classic 2D Sonic is just not fun. Like it's second rate compared to like Mario or anything that Nintendo was doing 2D for their major titles. So like, I don't know. I just never, I never gelled with Sonic the Hedgehog. It was never for me. But yeah, this looks interesting. Like, I think they do enough. And I know the last Generations is kind of lauded as
did you rate
kind
it?
of like a high point.
Did you rate it?
Did I rate it? No, I don't hear you.
I'm motherfucking, I'm not Ugas on this. I'm Matt on this. Okay. I think it looks, they change up the style of gameplay enough to keep me interested. Like there was even a portion of that trailer where I was like, it kind of gives me a Ratchet and Clank feel to it a little bit with some 2D side scrolling thrown in there. I was impressed, all things considered, that I don't like this IP. So
yeah.
All right. Chris.
It's a meh for me. There's just a lot of Sonic games out right now.
Jason
feels like.
It's not even that there's a lot of Sonic games. It's a hoo-gas from me because unless that game is a single player game, first and foremost, like it's not going to be good. Anything that they've done multiplayer wise has been fucking detrimental to that series. It's ridiculous.
That's true.
Yeah. Who guessed?
It's also who guessed from me, and for the opposite reasons of what Travis said. If it was a 2D game, I'd be more excited for it because it's a 3D Sonic. I'm like, no thanks. All right, the next game. This will go back to Jason. This looks like it could be a Jason jam. Zen. Oh my god! Can you guys hear me?
I saw Kaiba just fly through.
You.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! Hello.
Yep.
We hear you.
There we go. Oh my god.
Zen. What?
All of this is staying in the show.
Yes. Zenless Zone 0.
Yes.
That's the one.
I've not been one that has really dipped my toe into the Hoyoverse, but this will absolutely get me to go in there.
Wait, the what?
The Hoyoverse.
Hoyoverse.
Yeah, like Genshin Impact and shit.
Is that what it's from? Is
I
that
think
what it's
so.
It's the same.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
This looks like miles ahead of like the character design that they put forth in like Genshin Impact. At least as far as the trailer's concerned. This has a lot of fucking style. If it is indeed an action RPG, I could very well see me spending a lot of hours in here. This looks super cool.
Is it a dedicated single player experience, or is there going to be some multiplayer?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, all they've said is that it's being developed for the PS5. That's it.
Travis.
Meh. Not
That
for me.
game looks so cool. Oh fuck.
Hey, look, if reviews come out,
What did you say, Jason?
I don't know. Nice.
Okay.
I couldn't hear shit when you were saying it, so I have no idea what you
Okay.
said.
Yeah, I don't remember if he even said anything. I'm a nice on this one. I'm with Jason. Like I think it looks very stylistic. I love the way it seems like it looks like it's going to play really well. It does kind of look action RPG, so that's what I'm hoping for. So tempering my expectations, hence the nice. But it does look really cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing more about it.
It is a meh from me as well.
Oh damn.
This next one I'm going first.
Jason, man.
I'm going to give this one. I'm giving this a fucking. I think I'm giving it a nice, and that's Foam Stars.
Really?
Shut up.
Okay.
What?
I am because I think.
Are we gonna have a Foam Star night? Are we gonna have a Foam Star night?
I think it could be fun.
No, I will fucking walk out of here.
I just want to get into a foam room with you guys, to be honest.
Hey, Jason, I can give you the alliteration if you want it. We can do Foam Star Friday.
No,
we can make it happen.
There you go.
We can. I'm busy. We're not.
If there was a between nice and meh, that's where I would go. Because I'm somewhat interested. Splatoon's good. This looks like it could be good. I'm just saying.
I would go on and play Foam Stars, but I don't want to be what I would assume the only person online playing that game. Here's why I say that. Here's my evidence. I've already gathered my founding. Foam Stars has been showcased in every single PlayStation State of Play that wasn't like focused on one game. Any open state of play. It is for like 3 years now. It's been on every single one. That tells me that they cannot retain players. If they're constantly
they
having
can
to
retain
people,
players. Damn it. It's not out yet, right?
It's not out. It's coming out next month.
Oh, is it not out?
It's coming out February 6th.
Why did I think this game was out?
Isn't this only like the second, maybe third time we've seen it?
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen it a lot, and I thought this motherfucker was out.
No, I feel like they introduced this the last State of Play. I might be wrong about that. Someone's going to double check me in the Discord.
I feel like I've been hearing about Foam Stars.
It does feel like a long time.
I'm a meh on this, but the one thing that I'll say to Travis' point is, well, I mean, again, it's not out yet, so I guess we'll find out. But they're making it free on PlayStation Plus out of the gate, so we'll see how that works out for
They
him.
could have that Rocket League.
Single one of you motherfuckers will play it after one night. I guarantee it.
I won't play it for a single night. I have no.
Very much could be true.
Yeah, and
that's what I'm going to say. Mine's man with an asterisk.
Says, hey, let's play it, and I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah, I will try it. I didn't mind
Splatoon. Splatoon's pretty fun.
I was just gonna. That was what I was gonna say. Like, if any of us
has fucking AI generated fucking like
it's bad
rave kids. Like
I agree. It looks so bad.
It looks like the characters look pretty generic. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, they do.
But
I'm with Jason on this. This is a who gas for me, man. Just straight up. Like, I'm not fucking with it.
All right.
Dave the Diver, Godzilla, in May. Who did I go with last time? I started. So let's start with Travis this time.
I don't know enough about Dave the Diver to say motherfucking truth, but I'm super nice on this because its reputation for being a good game has preceded it enough to where I've been kind of waiting for a console release. So yeah, let's do it.
Chris?
I honestly don't know enough about it. So I'm gonna go meh to start with. Mm-hmm. I gotta find out more about it. Like from what I saw, it wasn't pulling me in, but I certainly won't leave it at that. I'll definitely dig in a little bit more.
Jason?
Dave the Diver kind of transcends like a lot of fucking like between indie and regular console shit. And then throw Godzilla in there. This could be a really fucking cool game. So I'm gonna go nice.
I'm also gonna give it a nice. Now would be a time. Yeah, I was planning on playing it eventually, but yeah, that's. I like it. The Godzillas.
Did anyone else go out and go see -0?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
I have a kid, dude. Like, we can't go to fucking theaters.
Just sneak out. Take a little bag of Skittles, dump it out on the floor, run out for 2 hours. Just run out.
That's what I do at theaters.
Dump the Skittles in a circle. They'll just keep going around and around. Yeah.
They might be asking Jason questions if he does that at a theater.
Yeah. Jason, just drop Griff off at our place, man. We'll watch him for a while.
Yeah. Or be a good father and take him to watch Godzilla. Like you're supposed to.
That sounds likely, yeah. Okay, I'll try.
V Rising was the next on the list here.
I'm super hyped.
Back to Chris.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Settle down.
I'm gonna go nice on this. I don't know enough about it, but it looks really fun. Like what I saw is interesting. So I'm looking for more.
Jason.
Damn it. So I'd like a good Diablo, but you know what I don't like? Chopping down trees. Give me a meh on this game.
Yeah, I feel like there's a building mechanic here. So it feels like that. So like my level of interest is very dependent on how much of that there is. Because if the more there is, the lower it goes.
Yeah.
I agree. If it's one of those things where if the building is super prevalent, this is a meh.
Yeah.
But
gotcha.
If
it's been on early access for a while on Steam and has not really generated that much of a following, I don't know if it has much of a life.
I remember that game having a really great first impression with the PC community because people were in between Diablo 3 and 4. They wanted that, and this count was popping off pretty loudly. It's sad to hear that it's kind of fallen off over time, though.
Yeah.
I was a motherfucking truth when I thought it was a Legacy of Kain game because I never heard of V Rising. When I first saw it, start playing, I'm like, oh my God, did someone bring back Legacy of Kain? And then it wasn't.
Oh man. That would certainly increase my interest level.
I literally was like, oh my God, did they finally do it?
Actually, that'd be going back to Legacy of Kain's roots, man. The very first on PS1 was a top down.
It's top down.
It was.
That would certainly raise my interest level.
Once I saw the cutting down of the trees and shit, it went to a meh.
Oh, that's bogus. That sucks.
Bogus.
All right. Silent Hill, the short message, which is also shadow dropped yesterday, as mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you can technically play it. None of us have yet, so we can't. But what were your thoughts when you saw it? Travis, what was it? What did you think?
I mean, after playing a whole bunch of Resident Evil 7 and 8, I'm actually pretty hyped about a first-person Silent Hill. ironically, I thought the demo that we got that none of us played yet, I thought that looked better than the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Oh, the remake. So what are you saying for the hype meter?
I keep forgetting we're playing this fucking game. I mean, it's just a demo, so I guess nice.
Oh, is it just a demo? I thought it was the entire game.
Was just like it's being advertised as
free to
like
play Silent Hill spinoff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Isn't it really a demo?
I guess I don't know. But do they have a game after this? Like,
I don't know. I would think that they would not just waste money making this just to give it away for free.
I would like to think a lot of things about Konami.
It's hard to think anything positive about Konami these days.
Hey, look, if your guess is about Pachinko, you're spot on.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, you're spot
Chris,
on. But for this,
what's your rating, buddy?
I thought it looked great, but I'm not really one for the horror genre, so who guess?
Okay.
Jason?
Yeah. Who guess?
I'm also a who guess.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's actually surprising from you, Jeff, seeing that like you're such a fan of the first person Resident Evil games.
I am. They're Resident Evil. I've never been a Silent Hill guy ever.
Me neither. I mean,
which leads me to the next one. Silent Hill 2 remake. I'll go first this one, and it's a who cast for me as well. Also, once I saw it, I was like, this comparatively to Capcom's remakes, this is not impressive. So
you're right.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah,
it didn't look good.
Chris. I think that one's unanimous. I'm a who guess as well.
Oh, it's a unanimous.
I'm not a who guess on it though.
Yeah, I'm not a who guess. I think I'm meh. I'm kind of meh on it, but I want to see where it fucking shakes out because this was like a combat focused Silent Hill, which is not traditional of that series. No. So there was a lot of fucking gunplay, which left people scratching their heads. So I have no idea how this is going to shake out.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing the fallout though. So give me a nice, maybe. Yeah.
I would love it to be great though. I think Silent Hill has potential, but yeah, just the first, this impression was not a good one for me either.
Yeah.
Okay. Ken Levine's new studio, what's it called? Ghost something. I can't remember it right off the top of my head, but Judas. We saw more of Judas. Is this the second time we've seen this?
Yeah.
Is it? It was. Yeah.
Yeah. They showed it at the Game Awards last year.
Did we see
not gameplay? Last year, the year before. Yep, there's gameplay.
Yep. Yeah.
I think it was during the Game Awards.
Quite a bit of gameplay.
Yeah. It was probably,
It looked cool. I think it looked a little more interesting than some of the initial impressions of, what was the last one? Infinite for the Bioshocks. Yeah.
Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it looks stylized in that respect.
I like it.
Which could be super cool, but it's Kevin Levine, so I don't know. It might get up its own.
It looks
ass.
very Bioshock.
Yeah.
Like even to the robots, like the drones that they showed you fighting, they looked almost exactly like the ones from the first Bioshock.
He might be digging a little too much into that well. I don't know. We'll see.
You think?
Yep.
Well, he didn't. Sorry, go ahead, Travis.
I am gonna say that I am a motherfucking truth on this.
Cool.
I have full faith in Levine and his squad to hit us up with a brilliant first person shooter with a new IP. And I say that confidently is because every time Ken Levine has introduced us to a new IP, he has evolved the first person genre. He did it with System Shock and he did it again with Bioshock. There is no reason right now to make me think that he can't do it again with Judas.
Shock.
I
am motherfucking truth for this.
Did you say Judas Shock?
I did.
Okay. That's what I was thinking the same thing. That's why I'm laughing.
Chris.
I'm going to say nice on this one. I tried a couple of times to get into the original BioShock and I couldn't. But I played all the way through BioShock Infinite and I loved that game.
It's great.
So interestingly enough, I don't know what the difference there was for me, but it definitely felt different at the time. This almost feels like it's got a little bit of it's a little Matrixy as well. So I'm interested to see where the story goes. So yeah, I'm my interest is piqued.
It's a motherfucking truth from me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't play the first one. I'd never beat. I need to go back and beat that. But I like the second one better than the first one, but Ken Levine had nothing to do with the second one. And I liked Infinite. And this to me, I think is what he would have done if he would have done a sequel to BioShock. I think that's what this is. And that tagline, fix what you broke.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's a dig, being like,
I never thought about that. Ooh,
so that's why I'm pumped.
All right.
Yeah. It's like the first line of Force Awakens. If anyone remembers that, it was something like it's something similar. It's in the same vein.
Jeff, we don't talk about Force Awakens with.
It was when Force Awakens was good.
We don't stop. Too triggering.
Oh, God.
Too triggering.
Too triggering. It's a spot.
For who?
For you, I'm talking about you.
It doesn't trigger me. I liked Force Awakens. I don't know what you're
Star
talking
Wars mega fan. Yeah, I'm talking about you.
I liked Force Awakens.
I did too.
I didn't mind it. Yeah, I thought it was good.
It was fun.
Right. Metro Awakening. This is the VR one.
Pick me real quick, so I gotta get a refill. Metro. We have Alex Half-Life at home. That's what that game is. Wait, do you know what I'm talking about?
Alex Half-Life?
Yes, Alex Half-Life. There we go.
I haven't played it yet, but
yes,
it looks great.
It
looks awesome.
This seems like that, but on PlayStation VR. Okay, I'll be right back.
I'm all for it. Yeah, for me, Metro is one of
I'm
those.
going to take that as a meh from Jason.
I am too, yeah.
Or a who guess.
I'll say nice, honestly, because obviously I would have no opinion of VR if I didn't get if I didn't get the Oculus. It was just so easy to use. If this game never touches like the Oculus Quest 3, or the Meta Quest 3, like I don't know if I'll ever play this.
It's coming out for the Quest.
I only want to play games with the convenience of like the wirelessness and everything like that. So if it is on the 3, I'm pumped for it.
It is.
So
yeah, it's multi-platform. They put it out. It's
cool. That being said, nice, because Metro, I've been saying it forever when I'm playing like really immersive games. I always go back to Metro when I'm in VR. I'm like, Metro would be so badass. That game is so kinetic with your hand motions and what you have to do, like keeping your lights charged on. Like it just, there's a lot that game could do. I'm close to a motherfucking truth. I just don't know if I'll have the Quest 3 in time to play that game, but I'm definitely nice. I think there's a lot of potential here. And if any of you guys have played any VR games, specifically like The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, like an actual first person hardcore melee and gun style game, like it's super, super fun. So if this game's anything similar to that, and they put a lot of that love and care, it could be a motherfucking truth. But right now, it's a nice.
Chris.
Okay. I'm a meh on this one just because I am not a huge fan of like the VR shooter mechanic. I mean, if this turns out to feel better, maybe I'll give it a shot. But I've tried that in the past, and it just really hasn't hit home for me.
Gotcha. So
we'll see. And it's unusual because the other VR game is going to be a different comment from me, but yeah, but for Metro, it looks really good, but I just, in my previous experience with VR shooters has not been great. So
it's nice for me. I like the Metro series. Exodus is one of my favorite first person games. It's
really good.
Great. And I was kind of bummed when I heard about this at first, but they came out today and said, no, it's not their mainline game, that this isn't like the next game in the series. They are working on a Metro proper. And it got me talking about VR today in the Discord, because I was thinking about grabbing a VR, but that was like short-lived. I'm already off that VR bandwagon.
I'm telling you, man, if you ever felt the inkling for a VR purchase, like the Quest is just convenience.
Oh, I think I need to demo it first and then see what it looks like. So
good.
I would want it to be wireless. I wanted the PSVR, but it's so expensive here. It's like $900 and just it's crazy. So, all right, Legendary Tales VR.
I will back the Quest as well. Like I've got a Quest 2 and it's great. Yep. But I honestly I use it more for PC VR than anything because
I won't have that option. So
right. Yeah, the Oculus app, the PC app actually has I don't remember what they call it, AirLink, I think. Yep. So you can wirelessly stream PC games to the Oculus, and it works pretty good, yeah. Really well. Like it didn't at first. At first it was garbage, but right now they've cleaned it up to where
even really before that you had to do it all ad hoc through kind of like
desktop there was a virtual desktop app that you can install and do it that way. Yeah. But
Legendary Tales VR. Chris, you go first because you were saying that this will be the opposite.
It's a cautious nice, like because it looks really fun.
Have sword and sorcery at home. That's what this game is.
That's what I was thinking.
But you know what they showed seemed interesting. It seemed to work really well. I liked that you can move from like sword and shield play to spells and things like that. So, I'm cautiously optimistic on this one.
All right, Travis.
Meh. Jason took the words out of my mouth.
Jason,
I have basically a similar game on Quest already, and I know how long I can play something like that. Like I can play a while in VR if I'm doing subtle, but in that game, I feel like you need to be kind of like flailing around a little bit. And I can't do that for more than 45 minutes.
Yeah. I'm all for a platform having a killer app, or at least striving to have a killer app. But when they're trying too hard to be something that the other guys are doing really well, leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So this is a who guess for me.
Yeah. All right. The next game we have talked about a lot, so we'll try to keep this one short. And I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to be from the first person I asked. Jason, Dragon's Dogma 2.
Motherfucking yeah. Motherfucking oh god, there's a new class, the Wayfarer.
I saw it today,
where you have a slightly less ability points, but you can switch between fucking using the magic user spells and fucking like warrior. Oh god damn,
it's dope. I like it. I wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't a fan of that trickster class that they unveiled a couple of weeks ago. It looks a little weird.
It seems like I can steer like right around that and not even deal with it. I'm fine with that. I played through the first Dragon's Dogma a year or two ago or something like that, and just fucking fell in love with it. So I'm super excited for this. Can't wait.
Travis.
Mother bugging.
Yeah.
Truth.
Yeah, let's go.
Chris.
Love the first one.
3 for 3, man.
Really?
I didn't play a lot of the first one, and that was more of a timing thing. But man, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like when the dude jumps on the back of the fucking dragon and starts wailing on him, I'm like, oh man, come on, man.
There's a lot of that.
This is great.
I am in nice, just because I'm not familiar with the first one. So, but the second one has enough
$5, man.
Oh, I have it. I own it. Okay, I bought it when it was like $3 or something like that on PSN.
You're gonna like swing your sword and like throw it on this fucking ice pillar, and then run up the ice pillar, jump off it onto the fucking
awesome for sure.
Dude.
I'm so ready for it.
I think
great.
Jason likes this game a lot.
Yeah.
Until Dawn remastered.
It's good, but I don't know if anyone asked for it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So is that a who guess
for me? Yeah, who guess for me?
It's a who guess for me. I like Until Dawn. I do. It's just that I don't know if we need it again.
There's so many games that I want remastered before this. I agree. This is weird. This is weird that this one came out.
Like Bloodborne?
Yeah, right? Oh, God.
But yeah, I'm giving it a meh.
Yeah, meh here too.
The Last Ronin.
Oh, this one's tough for me.
Koei Tecmo has done some stuff that I've really liked. All the Neo stuff included. I know you guys weren't big fans of like the stance changes.
I like Neo.
I really liked that stuff. So they have proven to me that they've done some cool shit. So I'm kind of excited for this. So give me a nice.
Okay.
Travis.
Give me a meh on this, because this is a game where I'm going to steer away because I know I don't gel with the developer. But if I see like 8s and 9s, I'm just going to end up buying it.
Yeah.
And I will confirm, Travis, there is stance changes in it.
There are? Okay.
Yeah.
It's got to be a hard no for me, but I would say meh. Just you never know.
The video, look at the first fight. You see him pull up a menu, and it distinctly has like 3 or 4 stances on it.
God, I don't like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice from me. I think it looks pretty good. And if it's... I think it could be pretty good. Chris.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice for me as well. I try not to. I'm going to try my best not to compare it to Ghost of Tsushima, because that game
was nothing like it.
Yeah, that's.
It's not okay. Good.
Nothing like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks more like a open world Sekiro. It's kind of.
I was just going to say, it looks like what they learned from everything they learned from Neo, and they added Sekiro to it. Because the pairing was way more prominent in that trailer than it was in previous Neo games.
Yeah, it looks interesting for me. Yeah, absolutely.
Death Stranding 2. Jason, we'll start with you on this one.
I could not wrap my head around. Well, no. I could
Which
not.
part?
You couldn't wrap your hands around.
I could not stand the first game. I really, really did not enjoy that first game. But this seems like the over-the-top, fucking wacky, bizarre shit that I really want to check out from Kojima. Everything from the hand scarves to the fucking low frame rate puppet to
amazing.
the fucking
that looks cool. Yeah,
Joker makeup, fucking glam rocker.
Troy Baker.
This seems fucking off the walls, so I really want to check it out. Whether or not I'm going to go back and play through that first game, which I really did not like, I don't think that's going to happen. But I might just kind of pick up where this one starts
off.
Give me a nice.
Travis,
motherfucking truth.
Chris,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm good.
Did you like the first one a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I didn't play the first one at all, so I'm a meh on this right now.
I'm going to tell you, Chris. It's so weird. Like it is one of those games where like you either love it or you hate it. There's no. It was all right. Like you're either going to be on board or you're not. And I would highly recommend at least giving it a shot to see what's.
I have it. Downloaded. It was free on PS Plus at one point or another.
I've seen people that absolutely hated it at first and then played it again and just completely bought into it. So, I don't know.
I need more time for games.
Yeah. I also want one of those guitar rail guns. Like I want one of those.
Oh yeah. I was a Hoogas when this was announced. Whenever they announced it, but that trailer or whatever you want to call it brought me up to a nice. I'm interested in it. The same kind of thing as Jason. Like I didn't like what I played of the first one, but that I was like, this has stuff in it that looks interesting to me. And just looks cool.
I want to experience this with other people as well. Like I don't want to like read about it secondhand on Twitter. I want to
in the zeitgeist while it's all going on.
Yeah.
And sticking with Kojima, he announced a game that doesn't have a name yet.
Yeah.
So he's doing a espionage game going back to his roots with Sony. Didn't really say much, but it seems like it might be kind of like Metal Gear-ish.
Right. He said, action espionage or whatever. Or
it's going to be Metal Gear. Like
it's going to be Metal Gear with the name like fucking taped over and they're going to call it something else.
Yeah. Mineral.
It'll be durable
pile or something.
Durable funnel. I don't know.
Durable, yeah, exactly. This shit, it probably ain't seen the light of day though to like 2030.
It's at 2025. And I think they're being generous when they said
2025.
You think it's a PlayStation 6
no,
game?
I'm sorry, that was Death Stranding 2 was 2025.
Yeah, I don't think this is like till the next generation.
This is a PlayStation 6 game.
Yeah, because they got Death Stranding, OD, and then this. So that's.
I don't think OD's taken as much time off of his plate. That's a that's a much smaller project, and I think he's more or less overseeing things versus being quite as hands-on.
What makes you say that?
He's been overseeing shit for fucking years. Like,
yeah, but he's getting it. Like, I don't think you bring on all those directors and stuff for something small. But he did say something though when he announced this espionage thing that I was kind of like, normally. It made me kind of be like groan when he did it for OD, but he said the same thing. He was like, it's an interactive game / movie. I think that's just the way he's going to label his games from now on.
Yeah.
It's just like what it is. But I don't think OD is going to be small, dude. I don't think there's anything that would lead us to believe that.
I'm not saying it's going to be like a 2-hour game. Like I'm talking like a 10-hour game, 12-hour game, something small along the lines of Kojima, because he makes really, really long games.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's just more
What are we, Chris?
I mean, I'm excited to see what he does. I'll go nice right now.
Okay.
Travis?
Motherfucking, what were we talking about? Death Stranding still?
No, the new Kojima game.
Like whether you're interested, yeah.
Like I'm nice.
Happy he's making something new, and I'm glad it's going to be espionage. So
this is our answer. This is our answer because we know Konami is not going to be able to successfully make an original Metal Gear game again. So this sounds great.
Yep.
Jason,
give me a nice. I want to see what he does. I guess that's all I can say. I don't know.
I'm a nice as well. I think I would like to see what he does in that genre again.
Tempered expectations. Yeah.
For sure. It's a gas because I think it's way too fucking early to even mention it, but it's a nice because the idea of it's cool. That's it.
I'd like to drop a shadow gas just for Konami in general right now. Just, throwing that out there.
Thank you.
As a person who holds Castlevania to his heart, it kills me that Konami is in its current
sell off the IP, man.
Man, they'll never do it. They'll never do it. They like milking the Castlevania cash cow. They just keep re-releasing shit. So anyway,
what did
the only other thing they announced?
Go ahead.
The what? That's right. Discord. Thank you, Jason.
I was going to say Discord. I was going to remind you too. So thank you.
So we have a couple comments in here. We have one from Z-Ace. He says, what do you guys think of Kojima's action espionage game? What do you think the game will be? We kind of answer that, I guess.
It'll be Metal Gear.
But
it'll be Metal Gear.
Yeah. It'll basically be Metal Gear.
I hope it will be. It'll be out in, I think Jeff said, 2034?
Something like that. Yeah. It'll be PlayStation 6, 100%. And probably like mid that. Shvek on our Discord. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. He said the surprise additional state of play announcement for Rebirth next week.
Yeah,
you think they'll drop us a demo? So they did announce on next Tuesday at 3:30 Pacific time. They're doing a state of play just on Final Fantasy Rebirth. So what do you guys think about it? And do you think they'll drop a demo like they did with the first one?
I don't think we'll get a demo. I think it's too early, and I don't think the game needs a demo.
Too early. It comes out at the end of next month.
It's not necessarily too early for a demo, but like I just don't think this game needs it. Like, That's
my thought. So I'm with you on that one, Travis. I don't think it needs it unless they're going to do something very different with the gameplay and mechanics compared to what they did with Remake. I don't really think there's a reason for them to put a demo out.
Let me actually change my own mind real quick for a second. I'm going to scratch my comment. I actually saw on TikTok someone had someone who received the code for it, got a demo code. There is a demo code out there in the industry for Final Fantasy, and it gives people a little bit of taste of the open world. And this guy was playing it, and he even showed the intro screen, and it said like open world introduction or something like along the lines of that.
Yeah.
There is a demo out there that media has. I saw it.
I think there will 100% be a demo.
So it may be that demo. It may be that exact thing. Yeah, possibly.
I expect one. They did one for 16. They did one for the first. They did one for the first remake of 7.
True.
So I don't see why they wouldn't do it for this one. But I'm going to check it out. That is next week, next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that I believe is everything, guys.
Good shit.
So I don't know how he pronounces that. Svajik I actually used to work with. I don't know how he pronounces that either, but I will say, Jason, he and actually everybody, he is also a very huge Dragon's Dogma person.
Oh, nice.
So he's all over Dragon's Dogma. I'm sure he was very excited about the Dragon's Dogma 2. But yeah, good stuff. Anything else on the plate, Jeff?
Nope. That is everything.
I think that's a show then, gents.
Yes, it is.
Well, in that case, thank you everyone for listening. It was a pretty long show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please tell a few friends about us. Also, like, subscribe, and comment. All of those things help us a lot. Check us out at our Linktree, which is at interactivedistractions.com. That will also lead you to our Patreon and our Discord. We appreciate all of our patrons, and we love talking to the people on Discord, so please come join us and hang out. But with that, until next time, my name is Chris.
I'm Travis.
I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
Player Games, and we'll talk to you next week.